Hi YouTubers, you're now on the Alrick Show channel. Subscribe, share with your friends and your family. We have stories to make you laugh and stories of change. Subscribe and share. Enjoy.
The Alrick Show, inspiration, motivation, one vision, hope to one new generation. Together we can live and learn. Yes, we're one family on the Alrick Show.
Welcome to the Alrick Show. International supermodel Althea Laing is now 64 years old. It was in 1985 when I was just 6 months old. She graced the cover of Essence magazine and again in 1990, and she's still fabulous. You think I'm joking? Here she is, Althea Laing.
Hi, Alrick. How are you?
Althea, I am good. Althea, you cannot be 64 years old.
Yes, I am.
There is no way you can be 64 years old.
May 21st, 1956. Do your calculations.
And you have the evidence as in a birth certificate.
Yes, and I also have my driver's license and I have my passport, everything that you might need.
Althea, how do you maintain this youthfulness? How do you do it?
My grandchildren. I have 5 lovely grandchildren, and I think I draw on their energy. We are friends. They love their grandma. I behave like a fool sometimes. And I just think, and I have a lot of young people that I interact with on a daily basis. So I'm just subtly taking their youth from them.
There's a famous quote of yours. I don't drink my coffee when it's hot. What does that mean to you?
It simply means that when we're faced with challenges, the pressures or the situations that arise as a result of these challenges is not, I do not deal with it as the challenge exists. I step back and then I move forward and make my decisions based on whatever I went through and the decisions that I have to make in order to move forward.
Throughout your life experiences, though, timing is an important factor. How do you step back and allow yourself to step into opportunities at the right time?
Alrick, I think when, as individuals, we are in touch with that supreme power, we know exactly what to do and at what time to do it.
But how do you position yourself for that out there?
Oh, well, let's look at Essence, for example. When I heard that they were here on the island and I went down to Runaway Bay because my friend told me they were there, and I said, if I am that fabulous, they will see me. And the photographer came out of the dining room, saw me sitting there at the bar, went into the dining room, called the rest of the crew, and I knew immediately that this was going to be a life-changing moment.
How do you embrace this, opportunities like these, so that you'll ensure that they manifest themselves? How do you embrace this?
Do you believe in affirmations? All right, this year, for example, I did my vision board. And when the pandemic came, everybody was like, Lord of mercy, the world is coming to an end. What we're going to do? This has been my best year. Because this year, I said that my brand would become #1. I mean, and I've seen so many things happening. The cover for Essence, May-June issue, being recognized as 2 of the covers in the 50th year anniversary. So we're talking about 600 months, and that is phenomenal. And then also RGR Gleaner 2020 Woman of Distinction award that I got in March this year. Then I've also been contacted from abroad to be included in a 100 most outstanding black women in the world publication.
That's powerful, but Althea, a lot of persons, young women who would want the opportunity that you would have had with Essence magazine, they know they are good, but they don't understand how to tap in to that energy in order to achieve
All right,
that
bearing
success.
in mind, Alrick, that I was 29.
Yeah.
When I did my first cover, I was 30.
Which
And
usually they're looking for younger women.
right, and then at 35. But whilst I was in, I knew I had that burning desire, and I knew that I had to step out because there were so many young black girls in Jamaica depending on me.
In your younger years, your friends maybe never considered
Oh
you
no,
beautiful.
no, I remember
How
when
did
I
you
was.
get above that?
I remember at Hampton, for example, I was called Skinny Reynolds because I was tall, skinny, and whatever.
Right.
And my lips were big. I was very dark skinned. And I remember once having a Venezuelan girl, because Hampton those days, if your parents could send you to Hampton, they could afford to send you to Hampton. And I consider myself very blessed, but my parents made sacrifices. And then sometimes at Hampton, I remember once this girl actually called me a black dog. And I remember taking her by her hair and dragging her down the hill towards the netball court because I was so angry. But when I think about it, had that young lady not tried to put me down, maybe I would not have been motivated to become the woman that I am today. So a lot of us need to understand how we can turn our negatives into positives. And believe in ourselves that this can happen. I grew up in a family where I'm the one in the middle. I was the darkest one. And I remember an experience of someone coming to the house and asking for the children. I was inside and I distinctly heard the person say, "Where is the little black one?" Okay, but the thing about it, my mother and father celebrated me.
Yeah.
They thought they spoke about being black and
So
comely.
from early, they were speaking into your life that
Speaking,
you're
my
beautiful.
father called me a star girl from I was a little girl.
But that is so important for parents to begin to mold their children from early.
Speak into their lives. Speak into their lives positively. My father called me star girl. My father said that I had to do the piano. A lot of persons don't know I went up to grade 5 in the Royal Schools of Music.
Yeah.
I have in theory and in practical. Yes.
You can play the piano.
Yes, I can play the piano. Right? In addition to that, my father was always, whilst I was at school, putting me in the speech choir. He was always putting me out there. And my mother always celebrated me. The Essence magazine, I remember one day putting an 8x10 photograph. I'm not lying to you. When I was going through the challenges of my marriage, and I knew I wanted more, and I knew I could get more. And I bought an Essence magazine, and I had 8x10 photograph, because by then I was selling insurance. So I was doing very well, right. So I was agent of the month, and my picture was always up and whatever. And I took that photograph and I pasted it on the Essence magazine. And I looked at him and I said, "Even if you're dead, I am going to make the cover of Essence magazine."
Speak it into being.
And guess what? He died before and he never saw it happen.
Well, you saw it in the spirit.
I know.
All right, we take a break. When we come back, we continue to talk more with Althea Laing. She has a lot in store.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the Alrick Show. We continue our conversation with international supermodel Althea Laing. Althea, so earlier we were talking about being able to help to define your destiny by speaking it into being. Essence magazine, you were able to put a picture on that cover. And it manifested.
Can you imagine?
What are some of the other areas in your life when you believed it and you achieved it?
Oh, while I was selling life insurance.
You sold life insurance?
Oh, yes. There are many parts to Althea Laing. There are a lot of things persons don't know. But I sold insurance for American Life Insurance Company, and I also sold insurance for Island Life, and getting ready to go back into the industry.
As in
again?
now?
Yes. On another level. Because you know what? I believe that as long as we have life, we must do the things that we need to do in order to make us feel very, very self-satisfied with self and to really achieve our goals ultimately. And I have a particular goal in my life now. And because I know that I was very good as a sales agent, as a representative, and know that I can pull on that experience now to move forward towards my other goal.
And helping others to become better in the process.
To become better, and families to become better in the process. Because you know what? And that pretty much came from an experience that I had, where when my husband died, he never thought that life insurance was important. And he actually bought a policy about 6 months before he died. And the insurance company refused to pay the policy, to pay the proceeds, because of the fact that they were saying that it was 6 months before he died and he must have known that he had this underlying condition and blah, 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 blah. But what happens to families?
Yes.
And men and women need to understand the importance of ensuring that their families are okay when they leave from here. And I have benefited, because I think I had the most wonderful father. You know, I talk about my father so much, and he died 4 years ago, and he ensured that his children were taken care of.
Your marriage, Althea, would have given you a lot of life lessons, moments that helped to propel you into who you are today.
As women, we need to understand when the time is up. We need to know when the time is up. And once we see there is a lack of respect, once we see that there is no longer that fire that burned within, once we see and understand that everything around us is falling apart, we need to know that it's time to go. I did not want to continue in an abusive relationship. And I knew that I deserved better. And it was calculated.
Calculated?
It was calculated, my moving on.
How you remember that day when you literally moved physically?
Oh, I remember very well. It was a Sunday morning. And I had decided that I was leaving. And I packed my things to go. And the male ego kicked in. And rather than the neighbors seeing me packing my own stuff, this was when my stuff was thrown out the balcony, the top balcony, so it appeared as if I was being thrown out.
Your husband would have thrown it out?
Yeah, but I didn't care. You know what's wonderful about this? Is that years now I can look back and I thank him.
Yeah.
Because hadn't he done that, and hadn't he put me through all that he put me through, I would not have been the woman that I am today. I didn't wallow in self-pity.
Because you were living his life, Althea.
That's profound. That's very profound.
A lot of us were trapped in situationships and relationships. We were living for somebody else.
Oh, yes.
And our dreams die with us.
Oh, yes. And it's very painful when your dreams are dying.
I believe that's also suicide, you know.
Yes, it is.
With all the lessons you've learned, you're empowering young girls.
And women. There are so many women in our society who are struggling. So many women who have reached out to me when I've done interviews and said, boy, I don't know how you do it. But I'm now documenting all of that in my book, and they will gain some life lessons from it.
You went into teaching. It was your first
I'm a
before
teaching by
Essence
profession,
magazine.
yes. I'm a teacher by profession.
So long before Essence magazine, you were a teacher.
Yeah.
And then you enjoyed the supermodel lifestyle. And then
I did other things because my husband did not want me to be a teacher, to introduce me as a teacher. So he had me hopping and skipping from different jobs, whatever, for his ego. And they were following the path because, you know, in love, whatever it is. But I went back to teaching because that is my real love. Right now, I'm actually doing online classes.
Yeah, great.
And I have now expanded where I have students from the United States now that I work with.
We take a break. When we come back, we talk more with Althea Laing. There's a resurgence of the Essence magazine that Althea Laing appeared on in 1985. And she's going to change, and we want to see that new look when we come back from this break.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the Alrick Show. Althea Laing won the Miss Jamaica Fashion Model Pageant in 1985. This sent her skyrocketing into an extraordinary modeling career. Her lips captured people everywhere. up to this day. Now, earlier, Althea had on a neon green dress. And with the resurgence of the Essence magazine of 1985, which is the largest circulation of the magazine in its history, she had to change for this segment. What does that mean to you? 30 odd years ago.
Can you imagine? I remember when my friend called her sister, Paulette Clark, and told her that I was in a magazine. So Paulette, through WhatsApp, she sent me this picture. So I said, where is this from? She said, the current Essence magazine. I said, what? And then another girlfriend called me. She said both my covers were recognized, right? And
Wow.
it's just so amazing. This is something that I would not have expected in 35 years, you know? And thank God that it has happened and I'm not using a walking stick and I still look nice and fabulous, even though I say so myself, shouldn't I?
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah.
Yes, and I am just so happy. I'm just so happy because with this, there have been so many things, some of them I can't speak about yet, that are getting ready to happen, and it's going to be truly amazing. It's just going to blow everybody away.
What are you most thankful for? What are you most thankful for?
No,
Yes.
health. Thankful for my health and my strength to... each day now is so new.
Do you have models reaching out to you?
Oh, yes, and I have parents reaching out to me, wanting their daughters, look at them, sending pictures, how do they look, but I don't want my daughter to be with a traditional agency. I think they need to have a woman who will take care of them and nurture them. I will nurture them, and I will do that through my grooming program, which this summer is online.
Great.
You know, because we have to move with the times. And in doing that, then I normally send my girls on to Saint, to Dwight, because we have that kind of synergy, and he will move them forward.
The modeling industry can be perceived as an industry that some parents may not want their young girls to go into because it might be because of, you know, certain sexual stuff. And all of that. How do you help people to know that, hey, this is...
No. I just let them know what can happen. I let them understand that they have these older men who are just preys on the young girls, and they are offering them this and offering... Listen to me, during the different competitions, you know, you have older men, you know, married men who lurch, right? And see the young girls as prey, right? Once they have been brought up with certain standards and stuff, they will understand. I give you an incident. When I was in New York, my agent, I went on a go-see and I got the job for the following morning, but the agent called me at 3 o'clock and said, listen, I'm going to give you an address because the agent wants to see you again. When I got back there, like at about 6 o'clock, knocked on this door, the address was not the same that I'd gone to in the morning. When the person opened the door, room dark, candlelight. I said, what is this? I said, but this man don't understand that I'm a big woman. So anyway, he invited me in because I had my portfolio. And when I went in and I sat down, he came and he sat beside me. Then he stretched his hands across me. And I've told this story before. I kind of had to purchase some fabric. You know, and having purchased the fabric, I walked through the door and I called my agent and I said, what is this? How could you set me up like this? Why should I be in this person's apartment at this hour of the evening and alone?
Right.
Right? Then I think she pretty much understood where
Your
I was coming from and what I was not prepared to do. And there are so many girls who want it so badly that they will do anything but what is right. And you know, when I think of my mother in St. Elizabeth there, maybe I could have been fabulous, but maybe at this point in time my name might be, what should I call it? My name might be caught up with an Epstein and that kind of a thing, you know. as is the case that is circulating now with others. But I give God thanks. I did what I had to do, right? It was my time. It was my season. And God has a way of putting you through stuff, putting you through the fire, right?
Yeah.
And when he realizes what you are made of, then it's his time again.
You're presentable
And
now.
yes, and the season, and you're stronger, and you are ready to take on all that life has to offer. It is just a wonderful time of my life. Honestly, Alrick, I would never exchange this time of my life for nothing in the world.
Your father passed on. Was he proud of you, and is your mommy proud of you?
Oh, well, when I got into, my daddy didn't even know I entered Miss Jamaica Fashion Model.
What?
When they woke up the Sunday and went to church, everybody was telling them congratulations. So congratulations for what? They didn't know that I had won the competition. Daddy knows me. Daddy knows I will do things that I want to do, and I'm for the stage and everything else. But I think he was proud because his star girl had manifested, you know, and he felt very good when I got awards and stuff like that. Outstanding Teacher Award at Bel Air and Mayday High. And whatever it is that I do, I always seem to excel. And I think that made him very, very proud. My mother now, this year when I got the RGR Gleaner Woman of Distinction Award and I got the coffee table book, I took it down to show her. And when I was leaving last week, she says, no, this is mine.
Yes.
This is mine. You have to get another one. And she has the Essence magazine. She has everything all put away carefully, you know, and she's really, really proud of me because I am the child that I think maybe my siblings gave gave me a very hard time, but I've managed to withstand the storms, and here I am in one piece.
You are living your best life now. What's next?
Oh, my book. My book is presently at the publishers.
Yeah?
Yes.
Are you ready to say the name?
No.
No, okay.
No. And we're going through it. It's going to be the story of my life. And in between, there will be some poetry that I wrote as I went through the different journey. It's really thoughts. It might not be poetry. It might be prose. It's just an expression of the emotions that I was going through at that particular moment in time. And in addition to that, there will be photographs, iconic photographs in between the pages of the book. So it will be pretty good.
Great moments for you in your life, Althea. I want to thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for having
sharing
me.
with us on
And
the
I
Alrick Show.
congratulate you. You've done very well
Thank you.
over the years for yourself.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for always looking out for me as well.
Oh, you're
Right.
my sweetheart.
All right. So, Althea Laing, international supermodel, a big resurgence of the Essence magazine of 1985. That's happening today, 30 odd years later. I want to thank Althea Laing for sharing with us today on the Alrick Show. The Alrick Show will be back next week.
Alrick Show.